Alright, what's going on, people? So I figured I would do a little video on what the project is going on here for this hunting season. We got the rest of the lumber covered up here. But it does look like it's going to fucking storm. We've had a really super hot and wet summer. I don't think it rained all but maybe 3 days in July. And this past week, we actually got summer for the first time this summer, and it's been upper 80s, 90s. Humidity has been high, but it hasn't been that bad. As you can tell, the wind's blowing, so there's always been a nice breeze. But we are building 2 raised platform stands, enclosed platform stands for the property. They are a 4x8 dimensionally, and shooting out the side windows, I'm fine with the bow, but dimensionally, for the width-wise when you're sitting in it, I don't know how I'm going to get to full draw and not hit the back wall. Maybe I can try doing it at an angle. I've sling some arrows out of the side wall here, or side window rather, and I did not even try to attempt to come to full draw with the chair in it sitting sideways. I will figure all that out once we get these in and up to the property. I'll bring my bag target up. And then we've got the other walls and both roofs underneath that tarp there. It poured like a bitch last night, and being rough cut pine, it gets even heavier once it gets wet. So yeah, even just squeezing this, you can feel the water coming out of it. But gotta disassemble all these. We just mocked it up and put braces on it and tacked it down. We are going to be disassembling everything, loading up on the trailer, getting it to the property. My brother is talking about running an excavator to lift the panels up and the roof up. If we cannot find any trees around where these are going, to set up block and tackle to raise it up, because these are going up 10 feet. We're getting 10 feet, well, probably about 8 foot, 8.5 when it's up. Because we got to do the post holes, and we're running 10 foot 6x6s for the legs. But all said and done, if anybody has any Amish around where they live, and the cost of lumber being what it is, and you don't mind rough cut, and can cut to the dimensions really that you need, I would definitely go that route. All this lumber for both blinds was only $686. That would have been probably close to $3,000 if you went to like Lowe's, Home Depot, or some other home improvement lumber place. And then if anybody's curious about what brackets we're going to be using, it is these guys here. And if I'm not mistaken, they've got a 35-degree offset. So when it goes into the platform, you can see kind of the angle that's at right about there. So still need to go get the 2x4s for the bracing for the 6x6s. Still get the 6x6s along with the lag bolts, the washers, and the nuts to get these mounted up. We have everything fabbed except for the 2 doors and the window panels. We still have to pick up the 6x6 and the hardware for these. We've accomplished this all within 3 days. We only worked for about 2 hours on it yesterday before it started sprinkling. So we pulled all the saws in, all the equipment in, and everything else. And as soon as we got back inside, the sun came back out, which is typical upstate New York. We've had monsoon season from the end of June all the way through July. I think we only had maybe 4 days with no rain in July, and August has kind of been the same way, except for all of last week going into this week. Last night and Sunday night, today's Wednesday. So last night, Monday night, and Sunday night were the only times that it rained, but it rained at night, and then the days were beautiful. Today definitely looks like one of those days where it's going to be kind of shitty on and off rain. Tomorrow's supposed to be nothing but rain, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we get a break in the heat wave, and they're not calling for any rain. But I do feel kind of bad. Got the Can-Am here, and she's been sitting here for the last 3 weeks. Last time I took her out, we had a ride up north with a Lewis County Sheriff that is running against Cuomo. But however, he's not going to be running against Cuomo since that shitbag resigned, and they're kind of pussyfooting around whether or not they're going to pursue criminal charges against the shitbag. But there was 120 of us that rode that day, and it was dusty as shit. So I got her home, cleaned her up after playing in the mud and whatnot. But one thing I did not do is take out the air filter. I got to get that out and blow that out. It's idling kind of funny, and I know firsthand. And granted, Can-Am versus Arctic Cat. With my Arctic Cat, if it starts idling a little funny, the air filter's pretty clogged up with dust and dirt and shit. So I'm going to pull that out and blow that off. But I do want to get some more riding, at least 2 more good rides before hunting season kicks off. And we're about a month and 3 days from that happening. So I don't know if that's going to be feasible or if that will happen due to the fact that we have to get the ground blinds up to the property and get them in and good to go. And I still have to stain. And then I bought Rust-Oleum camo. It was a camel color paint. Bought a few cans of that just to kind of break up the ground line, the profile of it anyway, and see what happens. The only thing that sucks with that is it is fresh cut, it is rough cut, it is wet. Now, with the one blind being tacked together, that frame's going to be wet, which doesn't really matter because it's not going to be the inside that gets painted. And if it's not dry, I can stain it and paint it, and it's not going to matter. It's just going to get soaked in and be a waste of material and a waste of time. But with that said, that is about where we are at, and not really doing this video for any other reason besides being bored as shit. But I do want to I do want to touch base on one thing real quick too, as I head in to the house. It was 2 weeks ago. There's a comment on a video that I posted about 9 years ago, and it was in regards to the 30-30 ammunition from Federal as a Fusion and the Game Shock, I believe. And this one kid just started mouthing off, and it's like, not for nothing, bro, but you obviously haven't seen the date stamp on this video, and he's trying to argue like it's something new. He's like, you can't talk ballistics on paper, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then makes the comment of, where's my real hunters? Let's call this fucking poser out, blah, 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 whatever, shooting his cock holster off. And I'm like, what the fuck are you getting at? Like, you're literally claiming that I'm not a real hunter and I'm a poser. I'm not a city boy, man. Or I should say kid. I've fucking grown up hunting. And obviously you have comprehension skills that are lacking for not understanding, just breaking it down as far as what the factory rated box velocities are, what I had written on the paper, plus what I was seeing for grouping out of my grandfather's Winchester Model 94 when I was at the range. Maybe I should have did some footage when I was at the range and included that in the video, and maybe it would help these city boys, city kids to understand some shit. But I had to laugh about that, and I just blocked it, because at this point in my life, I am not about that drama and that bullshit, and especially from a video that was 9 years ago. And if you go back on the channel, when I actually took time to record my hunts, out on hunts, which 90% of the time were uneventful and unsuccessful, but that's hunting. If you want to see something getting killed every single episode or every single time, go to the fucking Outdoor Channel, go to the Sportsman Network, go on YouTube, search all our fucking channels that literally try to make a living out of doing that. Don't know what to tell you, but I mean, if you're trying to argue ballistics over what I'm finding out of a Winchester Model 94 with 2 different types of ammo, as the rifle is bagged on a bench, and what I'm finding for accuracy and giving my opinion, then hey, more fucking power to you. Get offended, get the binky, run to your fucking safe space with your BB gun, is what it is. But anyway, with that being said, video is at about 10 minutes long, and I am done, and it's too fucking humid out here. I'm gonna get back inside, get the pup fed, and find out what the game plan is for today. If I'm gonna try to attempt to get any more construction on the blinds done, or actually just say fuck it and enjoy the weather before the skies open up. I'm hoping this shit kind of passes, but we'll see what happens. Outside of that, everybody else be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you later.